flash to start things off. Counter flash and first blood from Aspas. Loud just storming in, coming in Loud for sure. A right into A main. That's now your force. A wall early, he gets instantly broken. Then through the high tide, Aspas gets a kill.
They know.
No lurk to work. And that's gonna be Loud. Coming in big in the pistol right here.
The gambles that teams have played so far on these pistols, I think we've almost had like a huge confrontation on each one. These are really great. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of these pistol rounds from this series. Really, really tight stuff as the teams just push each other constantly. Call that A play, and now we get the Marshall going over from Aspas towards B. They'll play off a Viper wall, but you can see Les is going to play around the map, so they're really going to be looking to work this util off the ball here and still be able to have Viper defending B with a bit more of that util along with Killjoy. Back to the orb, back to the scene of the crime.
So that got pushed away by the curveball. So that A orb control called up by Shangyaris seems to be game plan, at least for the first few rounds for CLOUD9. Les battling across, and it's still going to be Loud across the map. Nice shot by Les. And a flawless is actually huge for the economy to continue Loud for Loud into the bonus.
A comfortable cleanup for round 2. Not really have to worry about too much. The 1v1 seemed confident. Should be serenaded into our bonus round. Man, Phantoms actually... Okay, there are a few Phantoms. I couldn't tell from this far for a moment. I thought they were just going to totally play the wall game here if they tried to work Zelsis up. That's the focus. It's going to be this layered curveball up B to the column and try to push through this defense that Aspas is putting up with a Marshall. Dismiss smoke to get into position, and they're headed out.
Marshall for Aspas, tagged for a bit, forced to fall back. Talked about the wall there. There's a lot of walls here that could be used for C9 to get into this B site. Sage wall available for Rudy, who does have the spike on his back. Blaze wall out from Zelsis to scale up inside the map for C9. And it's fully cleared. You hear the Marshall just ringing. But no contact as we have the first engagement into B-Link. Nobody damage out of that one. It's actually Loud that comes out of it more wounded than C9 on the post plant.
They see swamp grenade.
1v1 battle towards the back. KJ versus KJ. As Les is trying to move forward towards the back of the B halls. It's still Zelsis and Jake forcing the swing out. Who does get 2 for his trouble before Les answers back with 2 of his own. Sadek still on this battle up against Leaf, who's changed from a duelist into a sentinel for this round. A cascade to allow for Loud to push up forward for a bit, who's now down to halfway.
Halfway.
Sticking on to the spike, now off and pulls on the knife. There's no more time here. Leaf will come out, and C9 will win the round.
It didn't really matter. It just looked a little chaotic because he pulled the knife out. The shot wasn't there, right? Even if he pre-fired. And that is the round going over to the side of CLOUD9. What a really tight round at the end there. Getting into the site looked a little messy. Like, I like the way that the Loud was defending, but now this is on C9. They win the round, they use the wall to plan. You can't always do that. Now Loud sees that wall go up, they're gonna blast through it and delay the plant. So CLOUD9 is gonna have to keep coming up with different things, maybe position it differently, plant to the far side. But yeah, it's hard to run the same thing over and over when you're trying to take B on this map. The defense changes it up a lot. A orb control once again, running back is ready. That operator for Aspas continues to peer down B long here.
Also posted up, potentially using some of Jake's utility and running back to force to rotate clear. The utility left inside the A site. Meanwhile, though, for CLOUD9, falling back towards mid-control at Plaza. Trailblazers here just to try to push him back, and it should still be a split into the A site. But Les is ready for this. Behind Art, falling back. Triple player, crossfire set up inside the A site for Loud. Hot hands onto the ground, first contact, Sadak stops to run it back. And we're moving in for a plant. Les and Sadak, though, fighting back. So rotation's already coming through from Loud. Cascade onto the front of the A main. Big battle into the front as Les wins that one against Zeppa. Jake peeking out, forcing the bullets out. Aspas forced to fall away from a dash. And a kill through a blaze wall left behind by Celsius. Now has to come up huge now that the high tide comes out on a retake attempt. Off now, greeted by Aspas. And that's a clean retake by Loud.
Yeah, well, Les is something else right now. You saw the split-second decision-making where he almost peeks the corner with a Viper bite, then backs up 4 steps to get the frag. Oh my word, just the overall play communication going on through the team, and to get the 3K here by Les. Cloud9's gotta feel like they are just stuck for ways to get in at this point. Still got a lot of rounds to go. We'll see if it works this time. Remember, that was the run it back. That was quite a bit of an investment there for C9. So Loud's feeling pretty good after that one. Ultimate for Les is up due to all these frags. 8-1 to start off the game there on the Viper. Now, he's had a great series all around.
2 flashes used just to gain control of the orb. Focusing onto a res for Rooney instead of picking up Seekers or still trying to build up the run it back on this eco round for C9.
Back over to B. I mean, they got all the time in the world. Why not? A nice little turret watching mid. Backing up Leaf.
High tide's just well done here for the defense just to run that clock down. Denying just any fast swings out from the doorway. No utility left by the Killjoy towards this B link as C9 decides to push through that.
I wonder if Loud's just not worried on this round of B-Link due to the ecos. We'll have to pay attention to that, but they are playing pretty safe. Making sure that, you know, Cloud9 can get the space, feel comfortable, and the retake should be what gains Loud this round. Cowanzine nicely watching the underpass. And now 2As, you can see everybody backing up just a little bit more. 30 seconds is there. This is going to be the hit.
Just the timing too. Getting the cascades out late. A wall to try to get into a plant on the attack. Rooney though lands the headshot.
Spike planted.
Gets immediately traded off by Aspas, who continues to dance around up trap, and finally Zeppa storms him down.
Nice try.
Picking up the op on a 3 versus 1. Stopped by Cowanzine. And Loud are looking unstoppable under defensive half.
Yeah, cheeky little plant there, but like we said, Loud was giving that space up so they could absolutely swarm the site, and that they did. Cloud9 falls quick. They're going to go ahead and give this to a Seekers, so they're like, okay, Cloud9's being real squirrely right now, all over the map. Which way are they going to go? They're trying to get Phoenix orbs, so the rounds are long. It'd be really good to have that Seekers up as soon as possible over and over again. So really being able to track this Cloud9 squad helps even more so. 4-1 as we move into round 6. You can see the last 2 came down to the defuse rounds. So Loud is maybe playing a little bit back on choice here. They did that round. We'll see what happens as we move into this. Guns back for the side of Cloud9. That operator very ready with a blade storm behind it. So Loud has answers for rounds to come.
Loud guessing a B hit early, so they're placing the KJ utility back towards B. Triple push out towards the A main entrance. Aspas lands that shot, that's Celsius to fall. And it's telegraphed and just easily done here and stopped by Loud.
Defensive wall coming in from 2As there, you can see. All the way across mid, just trying to wall off any pushes or pressure by C9. Slow things down. Little do they know, Cloud9's ready with 4 to get into B, but the util's still there.
Tried to move up for a contact play. C9 did spot Sadak at the top of B Heavens. As they're trying to run through this toxic screen, everybody's getting decayed. Nova Pulse is coming inside the site. Overwhelming C9 on their attempt to hit towards B. Reckoning even on top. And Rooney's gonna have to dance around for a bit. Dink through a wall, and it's looking impossible now. But Rooney has done it before.
30 seconds left.
On this very map. A jump spot here, a swing out to the right, and Cowanzine's ready.
Nicely played by Loud. It doesn't seem like they feel pressured at all at this moment. The ability to retake the maps or be prepared even with the setup they currently have, right? Not rotating too hard, not leaning, As C9's having a hard time making these mid plays or mid efforts really pull Loud out of position. And then how do you start to defend that? The mid-round calls just have to have more information, and Loud is not giving it to Cloud9.
And you can definitely see losing Zelsis at the beginning of the round is a key piece to allow C9 to really get into the back halls.
Right.
Without that, you're trying to run across a full gap off a sage wall, and you saw how they got picked off one by one.
Yeah, Phoenix makes it to the back hall there, and it's like his playground. You get the flash, you double layer in. That is a pretty brazen play coming out of Loud. They lose a few members here to the Sheriff, and semi-save coming in from C9.
Oh. Instant res, you come out, indeed. Nova pulls in onto the staircase, and that fall, forced to fall back from the bottom of Art. Zeppa still trying to chase him down. Does have the Seekers available, finally will use it. So that gets the wall bang. Flash, now hit. Zeppa stops him. A player advantage out for C9. Flat now coming down. Trailblazer, Zeppa doing everything, grabbing all that information, and allowing this 2v2 to happen. But then Aspas answers back with a Flamestorm. Oh my god, up truss. Lands one into the face of Zelsis.
The teamwork is absurd. The timing of it as well. You gotta give them all credit, but to have to shoot the Seeker, but no turnaround. Aspas is there. It's like, I got you, bro.
Oh yeah.
Just cinematic from Loud to clutch that round as Aspas flies around the corner for a final kill. Less with the ultimate on that Viper's pit, and we see there is run it back, so Cloud9 could be making sure this run it back gets as close as possible before they're able to activate it. That seems like an art play, seems like something on that A play around the wraparound or
¡Caralho! ¿Qué cagó, eh? ¿Qué cagó? Lo abrió, man. No, usted estaba tunado y él no.
Vibes going on over in the Loud camp right now. Sadak throwing out the fist bumps as they take another round away from Cloud9. We're back to buys here. Like I said, Marina running back is there. Less's ultimate as well with that Viper's pit.
Contact plays from two different spots, and it's C9 on the advantage as they take Art.
I have to be careful behind them, at least get that flank watch before, and if Zelsis activates this run it back now from the corner.
Alright, waiting after this point, they're gonna come down, and there you go. They flash through this too. Wall for a boost to try to spot towards the flower pots. Cascade, but we're giving up the site for Loud.
Cheeky little peek, Loud again. Even on the gun rounds, they stay mostly out of the sight here. Realizing that running back can do quite a bit of damage, and now they go to retake.
Aspas is so far for this flank, and is trying to flank with an operator. Locked down two to delay the clock onto the spike, but Tuiz is still fighting. A nice first kill in a 4 versus 4. Heals then coming out, and after this, Zeppa's still watching that flank for now. Rune is staying on top of the boxes, or should I say the wall as it gets broken off, and finally spots Aspas, so that cancels that out.
Jig is up.
Tap onto the spike, fighting through the high tide, but it's definitely looking at a C9 round.
Hot Hands goes out on the spike. No defuse able to come through. Ooh, just hiding. A sliver of life to have. As they come into the next round. We haven't really seen them be able to penetrate A in a way that they use the wall to wall left side and continuously take right side sight. They've actually had quite a bit of play coming from Art to try and circumvent what Les is doing. He is just a brick wall in that Art area, honestly, an installment, if you will. Showing off star plays, and he's been so big on the Viper this game. Aspas, trigger fingers ready.
And even more ready now that he activated the dash. Beside there, Leaf just lurking around behind the controls on top B.
Placing swamp grenade.
As now this flash, yes, they'll get a bit of information being thrown on the defense for CLOUD9, but no rotates really coming out for the defense. You still think that C9's playing a default.
Cheeky little molly there, coming in from the attack side. Good job by Leaf to really push out B connector, but it's not all happening at once. Everybody takes defensive positions again for Loud. It's a trade on each side.
A rare lurk, Seekers coming out. We don't clear towards the back of the billboard, and unfortunately, a couple of C9 players fall down. The advantage out for Loud, and it's a collapse coming out from Aspas.
Solid defense by Loud this time, not giving up an inch of the site, and as we said, the wall goes down, it's instantly shot through this time. Stopping the plant, stopping the momentum. They were not going to allow that to happen so easily again. Aspas with the double shot at the end as well. A really clean play around to identify this. Look at that flick. Just the last second. And they play right into the hands there. As we said, it was going to have to be something, C9 coming up with something different.
And it did.
I feel like Loud has seen these looks, and they're able to kind of switch that one up on C9.
That small difference there that came in, a little bit of conditioning from the curveball from Zelsis, yes, towards A, but he was still pulling alert towards mid instead.
Right.
Worked out for a kill, but it's really towards that B site that we were able to engage for Cloud9 to get a plant down. I'm trying to look at successful plants for C9 overall from at least what I can think off top of my mind. It hasn't been that successful here for Cloud9. Half buy, low buys, 2 stingers with pistols to engage towards the A site. Stopped by a high tide, and the lurk not working out this time for Jake.
Nothing's hitting back sight for them. They feel like everybody moved towards the front side, and that was just kind of a dry peek to the back, even though with all that utility used. This is a tight spot here. For Rooney, Les is always there to make sure he can lurk the play. Takes it down 8-2 here now for Loud. Commanding even the rounds that Cloud9 are getting, Loud seems to be able to shore up. Aspas with the ult. Seemed like it just took a map to calibrate, right? Maybe the sights were off. Absolutely back on there, along with Les. Rooney still fragging out, but you can actually see on the scoreboard, it's just coming down to Loud being the better shot right now.
Yeah.
On these plays, holding the defense strong and locking down each one of these sites. Slow play towards A if this is just going to be for the orb. It's enough to focus for Zelsis here. Look at a quick curveball and pick up. And they decide to kind of go across the map here. We continuously see the wall from 2 East a little bit into this round that would come across mid. Here it is. Yep. Set up easy and just delays. Delays. Knowing that first set of utility was used, Cloud9 would take space somewhat with each other, waiting for it to come back up, gain more ground. This wall just kind of pauses that. So when C9 does get that signature utility back up, they're still in mid, looking to take space.
I've
It's a
got
simple
your
thing.
trail.
Lisa, 1 HP. Seeker's going back towards the B link, and that activates an early Viper's Pit for Les, making it even more difficult for C9. And look at the utility from the KJ. It's actually outside of the Viper's Pit to delay and deny all of these plants. A curveball goes back in the site, though, as Zelsis gets the opener. Jake then also capitalizes on another one. Lockdown then coming out on the defense. A running back stopped right away by Aspas. Advantage still comes out here for C9. There's a big fight now from behind. Cowding stopped. Traded. Saves his teammate. And Jake gets locked in. A 2 versus 1. Sadak then stopped there by Rooney, who's come up huge into this round.
Yeah. Didn't matter for the patience of Cloud9. It seems like they like to play in that chaos right now, right? We kind of see how they play at the beginning of the maps and pistols. They press W and go forward. I feel like I saw 3 or 4 people pressing W while shooting that round. As we were going back and forth through the smokes, it was just kind of like little drive-bys, everybody trying to get what they could as they get back into a hiding position. And Cloud9 come out on top because it left Loud looking left, right. What are these angles coming from? On the ultimate that Les tried to put into the site, didn't matter. Did not really matter. So C9 now focused to the orbs. Zelsis, rinse and repeat. A pickup there with a little help from the squad, and it looks like they're sticking with this beginning strat of a 2 towards shops, 3 towards A. Back off of this, and that's big information to get.
Change of pace for Loud 2, looking to pressure up towards Plaza. And Leaf just sprays it through the nebula. A recall there, and that's 1 player down for Loud as they fall back. You're gonna hear all of these footsteps. This is the perfect timing for C9 to get into B.
This causes high tide to be used in a different way as well. We see C9 take the path that it's usually blocking almost right away. Oh, but they're hovered now by Loud.
And Leaf swings in for another kill. Lockdown coming through, who's been quiet throughout this whole game in this first half. Because, you know, he was just hanging out towards that B main area pretty much the whole time, but what he needs to activate does so, and allows Cloud9 to overtake the site on B.
Placing sentry.
Final round here, first half. Leaf making plays like that, honestly.
So a high tide for Reckoning. Just to keep Celsius away from the back hall's control. But there's just too many numbers to play against here for Loud. There we go, even Rooney lurking from the back. Nice way to end the half door into the second half. But with the double controller, can they actually snake bite into like these utility to not allow Celsius to get these curveballs out?
Well, you get in front of the walls, get in front of any of those smokes, you start rushing right away, Van Silly, as Cloud9 puts the defensive pressure on to stop Loud in their tracks for any initial rush B.
Felt like Ascent all over again. As after that, Loud cutting noise and looking to just regain control with a contact play back towards B long. Meanwhile for C9, falling back, dwindling down the numbers here towards B main. There's only Zelsis. Jump spotting one orb now picked up. Trailblazer confirming that there's nobody towards mid. So this is gonna initiate the rotate from C9.
Love this wall. Down as soon as they get to back hall, nicely timed comp by the team. Hot Hands comes out, denies that plant right away.
But Loud denying vision. High Tide and Cascade, a second one coming through towards the spawn. So all that retake capability from C9. Not working too well, but at least the gunshots do. Just heard of that dink from C9 onto 2E's. A fight towards the back of the halls, a jump spot spotting 2. And it's C9 over taking the site. Wall coming up from the defuse, and it's looking really good for C9 to win another pistol.
Fans, that has to be one of the trickiest things to hold. Because the wall gives space, you've used so much util, you don't have as much on pistol rounds, so bodies become the big thing, and C9 pushes through at once with the teamwork. Way too much for Loud to look at there, and they get the flawless, and look at this, piercing through the wall, same time, 2 different spots, well, someone on the backside of hallway as well. And then you just swarm the last person. Calm, cool, collected, Rooney there on the screen, making sure these calls go well for the squad. A flawless to start off second round. See how this plays out with the Marshal in the hands of Aspas. They should be taking that towards B long to see if they can get a quick, effective pick. And just that overall stutter step to give Loud, right? Just say, hey, no rush, you're not gonna get out fast. Give us time to set up even more, says Cloud9.
Troy 2 wasn't deep enough. It was just trying to clear outside of the deeper smoke that was placed up here by Cloud9, so you have to jump peek for info. So nice little play here from C9. We'll have to keep an eye on into the later rounds. With this plant attempt coming in towards B main, Jake comes out. Trailblazer stopping the plant from happening. Even with that Nebula, Loud's gonna have to rethink how they want to try to hit this A site, or B site rather, of Pearl.
I kind of like how Loud's play right now. C9 isn't letting it happen, but Loud's like, how far can we get right now? What will you give us? We'll play contact all the way up here on this wall. And yeah, quick peek out obviously denies them much from Jakey. And now this 5v4, it seems like they're just trying to spam it out, and Loud diminishing Cloud9's utility to make this a bit of an easier take in the end. Still gonna be tough.
Left.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere else.
Same thing for Loud too. The tap onto the spike to try to waste more utility, but now there's even a blaze wall. Even Hot Hands.
Oh my gosh.
So nice job for C9 to cycle that utility, now denying the actual push from Loud into the B site. 13 seconds left on the clock. It's looking like a done deal here.
Double flawless. There it is. Starting off squeaky clean for Cloud9 here. The silver lining is showing. And I'll see if they can keep this up on the bonus round now. One of the purchases, Aspas gonna go low armor here. We did have a few of the sheriffs coming through, but none have to go down to any lesser of 5. They focus over mostly towards A. I think this is actually just going to be a hold right now for Sadak, so it's more of a default for Loud to see what Cloud9 will offer their bonus round. Quick guiding light out towards B. So no detection there. Quick rotation from Zeppo to make sure they hold control of B.
While he does that, Rudy goes in to support towards Art. The trade-off of utility, high tide for a Trailblazer. Some pressure being done towards Plaza from Loud. We're getting ready for a potential curveball soon. Snapping the fingers. There it is, but it's too late. Kawatin gets the kill before he gets full blinded.
The angle of Rooney there needed to be a little bit wider to prevent that from happening. I think they both got out of the way of the flash for the play at the wrong time. Loud rather has done so good at just kind of identifying spots that they can fight. We saw the harbor wall flash right through B-Link. Where Zeppa's standing now, didn't come out for a fight, no identification. Move to Art, same thing, identify with utility to get that opening frag. There's number 2.
Yeah. With no more utility left for Zeppa, you gotta start moving out with your bodies to try to gain that information. Fortunately, he gets punished for it. At least leaves his spine towards the back of the site. Drops the spike, trying to get that second one, but only has a Spectre to work with. A wall then to block one side, Cascade to push towards the front. No deniability by jumping up on the wall. Plant will come down with 15 seconds left on the clock.
The denial utility from both teams on their post plants or their site takes have been so good, buying so much time and putting the pressure on their opponent right now. All onto that defuse. Loud keeping Cloud9 at bay.
Onto the wall. And then spawning onto the second one in between the Sage wall. Tweez gets the last kill in Loud. They don't get denied, they don't get punished into their gun round, and C9 do a bit of damage on their bonus.
They do a bit of that. I like the way the Leaf played that there, a little touchy on the spike. Yeah, that's me. Fake spike. But yeah, see how they just shadowed each other in that play where if Rooney was playing the angle, the flash is safe, and the curveball goes around the wall anyways. But you can't fault that. It's just a instant timing in the favor of Loud, and they play it well. Setting up fully towards B this time. So I feel like this is actually going to be a hit and wait. Well, we'll see maybe Les go back and watch shops after the team gets into position here on their long.
He's looking to be quick. Gain control here at least of an orb, allowing Sadak to pick up a lockdown and hit towards his B site.
Interesting early wall. So yeah, it's orb, it's position, and honestly, they're calling Cloud9 over. So it seems to be a full hit. Yeah, Killjoy utilities behind, the lockdown goes out. We have to see the C9 retaliation.
This might be a time. Oh! Okay.
Predicted.
Spike Elise falls long range. Attempt to get picked up. But there's still both controllers alive here for Loud. So can re-engage into the site. The spike goes down. Planet for Belong. Thanks to the cove placed down behind by Tui's. Long range battles. All 4 players are now falling back towards Belong for Loud to play the pulse plan. Sage wall up, trying to get the res. Nobody's really sticking onto that spike. Finally,
oh my gosh.
So Jake's sticking onto that one right now. It's back to halfway.
Vance?
More than half. They're gonna get it!
No way. Not a single person on the side of Loud was able to hit the shot that needed to be hit on the person. Oh my God. That was incredible by Cloud9 to basically act 1 as meat shield and 2 use the utility necessary. There was so much praise for Loud to start this off. The early prediction, Molly, knowing Celsius would try to come around the corner and make him play with a flash right away, huge from Loud. And still, with the kills coming through, the defuse happens for Cloud9. Ninja 1 in their favor. 9-7 here as Cloud9 starts to close the gap. That bonus round still very painful for them. So you see the buy is down. Sadak starts off with a great Phantom headshot.
Even more painful. Again, fighting for the A-orb through the nebula, kill onto Celsius. And this is still an opportunity to switch the momentum for Loud.
Wow. Trailblazer and W's from everybody forward. They get down Jake, and now they're in B before a minute's even gone, or 40's even gone in the round.
You know, we mentioned the lower buy here that we have for Cloud9.
Yeah, so Loud has to go for the throw.
Yep. Plant comes in. Alert now coming out from Aspis. Just trying to build up that Blade Storm. Sadak spawns at least one.
One shot.
Placing swarm grenade.
One opportunity.
One enemy remaining.
Well, at least Rune is there. Can you actually land that shot that we wanted? Not gonna happen. Loud taking a lead by 3 as the economy finally comes back for C9 on the defense.
Feel something over there.
see that both teams do not want to play to that flow. It's a little too slow. The retakes aren't as effective. I mean, obviously it can be great, but it slows you down. So rifles all around. Blade Storm coming up and a lot of ults to be used this round.
Yeah. I think it's also with that double controller that you have on the attack for Loud, you're really splitting out the sights on the take.
True.
So you're blocking your own vision too if you want to bring out the operator.
Yeah.
So leveraging Aspas for the space creation, the fight back towards B main! And Celsius finally lands that shot, got
And he
information on
grabs the
more.
Get out of here. I like this. They back up and Rooney's like, heal yourself. I'm not healing you. Probably see that in a second.
Could do that with a running back anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Now the running back can be used, so you get the full HP on that on play. A big focus here. Gamble from CLOUD9 is actually leaning back towards A here. Sadak drops Rooney. So that could really sort things out for the defensive side. 4v4. 1 minute left.
Fight the high tide, force out to run it back. Zels is getting all of this information, while Les does not hear anybody else moving through the high tide. All of Loud rotating back through the spawn. They're gonna be met up with least utility towards the B site.
I feel like it's a marathon fake when you're doing it on Pearl. You're just, and now we get to fake. This rotation took forever. Here they go though. They are gonna be running into the Killjoy utility, but they have gambled the numbers correctly. And Loud look to take this round.
But there's a late lurk coming out here from Les the whole time towards Art. The Reckoning just to clear out the site for Loud, looking for this plant. Deep unfortunately falls. As here comes the high tide, even the Cove. Not allowing any sprays to happen, and there's that lurk coming out from Les, who gets that second one onto Zeppa. And it's up to Zelsis. Healing up with the Blaze Wall. Kawazi with 5 HP. Zelsis has no utility left to work with. Triangle formation for Loud on the pulse plant.
Doing what he can now.
God, exactly.
Yeah. The Reckoning pushing CLOUD9 out of sight here really gave the space Loud needed. Nothing much to be done after that. You have Les again coming around on a flank. It did so much in Art last time. I think Les is just in a mode right now. How much he wants the orb, how much they're going to try to be making plays through Art if maybe A or B isn't working. They have an idea. 11-7 here as Loud takes a pretty big lead in the third map. They continue to stop CLOUD9 on the 1-round wins, which makes it even harder to buy because the money keeps getting knocked down in the economy for C9.
Okay, you open things up with Rooney, Marshall in the dome of Kawatsin, and another one through the smoke. Aspas to fall, Cascade to clear up the site. Zeppa just dancing around inside, trying to do a play off the guided light that he just did for himself, but gets punished right away. Zelsis onto a big flank. I don't even think that Sadak's in a range here of this alarm bot, so a perfect opportunity for that flank to happen.
Planted.
A battle towards Flower Pot. Almost getting caught into Cosmic Divide, to Astral Form, should I say.
One enemy remaining.
As now, unfortunately, as it worked in the beginning for Rooney with that Marshall, Loud just watched all of their angles on the pulse plant. They are now at series point.
Quick, clean take. Very textbook on that one. Making sure they have the util to make their way in, and honestly just fighting out that first A area. Once they realized there was a Marshall back of sight, you can worry a little less about Rooney. But once you close the gap, you know the fight is in the favor of the rifles. And okay, Sadak just parkouring around A to make sure they get those frags. We see Fraud very happy on the screen as their team now 1 win away from securing the series. Still towards that A push just for a bit to see if Zealous' focus is there.
This is dangerous here because the flash missed, and Rooney had to be very cautious trying to scale up towards the A orb. Gets into a nice little off angle, so that's being locked down. 3 players stacked up towards the B site. This is potentially one of the last hurrahs for C9 in the series. Loud scaling up towards Art, and early utility being used from the initiator, from Zeppa, to spot nothing here towards the Art.
Extremities held. I mean, if you're gonna do one thing, start pushing on the outsides of the map. That's gonna be less taking down Zelsis, though, just aware of the corners, checking everything.
Yeah. Waiting for that the whole time. Yes, Rooney picks up a Nora, but that res is going to be impossible. But with that first pick, Loud leaning out towards this B site. Lots of utilities available. This is a lockdown to Viper's Pit to seal the deal. You're going to have to hope that the whole W for C9 to attack back is going to work in their favor. Even harder now that Jake falls. Here it comes. Aspas landing that shot with the operator.
Double hit.
Pushed up is going to be Calzine just around the corner. There's that Viper Pit. The lean out, Jake falls. Zeppa looking to trade it out. It's up to him and Rooney on a 4 versus 2. Bladestorm also available. Held inside just by the screens outside of the Viper's Pit. Elise Zeppa gets the wallbang kill. A tap onto the spike, but footsteps are just heard left and right. Then the pit's about to fall. But then the backstab Zeppa to get 3. A 2 versus 1, not gonna happen.